Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm going to be showing you guys all four of the LEGO Marvel Eternal sets that released in October 2021. The movie just came out this weekend. It had the second biggest opening weekend of the pandemic, so I'm really happy about that. And I will be talking about the movie a little bit in this video. There won't really be any spoilers, but if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to hear anything about it, then don't watch this video, because I will be giving my opinions on some characters and stuff like that. So we'll start out with the minifigures. We get all 10 Eternals across these sets, but no other side characters like Dane Whitman or like Kingo's valet Karan. So I'm not really happy with how the minifigures were distributed, honestly. So you can see that we've got doubles of some of them. We have 2 Circes, we have 3 Icarises, we have 2 Makaris, and 2 Thenas. I'm pretty happy with that. Those were some of my favorite characters, and, you know, they were pretty prominent characters. Although, honestly, like, given how much screen time Kingo and Sprite had in the movie, I'm surprised that we didn't get duplicates of them versus duplicates of Makari and Thena, who really only got, like, more important towards the end. But I'm pretty happy with how this was done overall. I've got them arranged. I mean, like, I've tried to kind of arrange them in pairs. So I've got Makari and Druig back there. I've got Thena and Gilgamesh. Those were my 2 favorite pairings in the movie. And 2 of my favorite pairings in, like, the entire MCU. I really, really loved their relationships. Whereas people like Circe and Icarus, oh my god, like, after how overhyped, like, their love story was, there was just no emotion to it at all. And that really disappointed me because I was really excited to see them. I've got Ajax at the front over here. Again, I'm sad that we didn't get a new crown mold for her. And the other problem that I have with a lot of these figures is how inaccurate their face and hair pieces are. That's something I've complained a lot about on characters like Icarus. But honestly, after seeing the movie, I don't care as much because I hated Icarus with a passion. Like, I think that Icarus is the blandest and most boring character that Marvel has ever put on film. I really, did not like him. And so I'm kind of upset that he gets 3 minifigures across these sets. Like, he wasn't that important, and he wasn't that cool, and he wasn't that good. And I really feel like he should have only been in 1 or 2 sets, and then we could have gotten duplicates of, you know, someone like Kingo or Sprite. Out of all of these minifigures, I think I'd say that Sprite is the worst just because she has the inaccurate face and hair problem that a lot of the Eternals have, but then she also has, like, inaccurate legs. I feel like she definitely should have had medium legs, not short legs, and because she has short legs, they couldn't be printed, so she's just kind of under-detailed compared to the rest of them. And my favorite out of all of these, I really like the Ajax minifigure. I like Druig, but I think my favorites would have to be Kingo and Phastos because they have perfect torso and leg prints and also perfect face and hair pieces. I will be making a whole separate video on the Eternals though, and then probably another video in like a month or 2 about like how to fix them and make them better. So keep an eye out for those. And next to the Eternals, we have their enemies, the Deviants. I really, really like these. So I did feel like maybe there were too many Deviants across all of the Eternal sets, because we did get 4 sets and most of them, or I guess like half of them, were just Deviant builds. And then the sets that weren't centered on Deviant builds still had Deviant builds. But I really like it. When all is said and done, I think that this is a very nice looking, like, villainous army for the Eternals to fight against. And after so long of just having, you know, like, boring, like, Outrider and Chitauri armies and stuff like that, I really like these. I think that they look really cool all together because you have, like, the 2 kind of, like, quadruped, like, bulkier ones. Although, I mean, that guy actually has 6 legs, not 4, though. And then you've got, you know, a couple of, like, taller, thinner ones, and then 2 of them have wings. So I think there's a lot of nice variation. They still have a very consistent color scheme. They have very consistent, you know, like, sinewy, like, sticker designs across all of them. And so I think that they just make a really attractive looking team. That being said, I still don't think we needed so many. I mean, this Deviant does add, you know, like, a nice amount of bulk to, like, your army, but I really feel like it wasn't necessary, especially because both this Deviant and Crow came in the Domo set. I feel like we could have done without this one, and we would still have a pretty good-sized Deviant army. I think my favorite one is Crow. I've talked about this in my Domo review, but I just really, really love the build of this guy for some reason. I like his new head mold a lot. I love all of the tendrils coming out of him. I love, the articulation. Out of all of these kind of character builds like Steppenwolf and Groot and Crow, I think Crow's definitely my favorite. And I honestly, I love the Lego version so much that I was really excited to see him in the movie. And so I was really disappointed because much like Icarus, I feel like Crow is one of the worst characters Marvel has ever put on screen. He's the worst villain that they've ever done by far. He was so useless. He offered nothing to the movie, and he honestly shouldn't have even been in it. And that's just a really sad feeling to have about a build that I love so much, because I really like the build. And then I'm sitting here thinking, oh, but you were so useless in the movie. And it's hard to reconcile those facts. And much like the Eternals minifigures, I will also be making a separate video about just the Deviants, because I think that they warrant a closer look. So keep an eye out for that. That should be coming in the next day or two. And off to the right, we have two very, very good builds. That is one thing I will say about the Eternals sets. I feel like a lot of the times Marvel gives us good minifigures and bad to mediocre builds. But I think the builds for Eternals are just fantastic, especially in terms of display value. With all of these sets laid out, you can create a really, really nice Eternals display. I don't know if I have the room for it, but I really want to make one because I love it so much. So I really like the Arishem build. It is a little bit unstable. I don't think it's great for play. Again, I've reviewed all of these sets separately, so you can check those out. But it looks amazing on display. I love being able to pose him in different ways. And yes, he's completely not to scale whatsoever. But I think that he's still large enough. I think that was the perfect size to do Arishem at, because it's large enough for him to loom over the Eternals. You can see just how much he's looming over them right now. So I feel like it's a good size. Then as for the Domo, again, check out my review about it. But I really like it, from the exterior. I love all of the designs on top. The sides are a little bit messier to me. The only thing I really dislike is the interior, because I feel like the interior, it looks good, but it's just too cramped to really pose or store figures in. But again, it looks really nice from the outside, and I am going to be displaying these sets primarily. I'm not really going to be playing with them, so that is what I care about most. And I'm just really impressed that LEGO managed to get a ship this funkily shaped to look this good. My biggest issue with it is probably the color. It is a dark green with gold detailing in the movie, but it does look dark gray from certain angles, so I'm okay with this color scheme. It's really just I just think it's too much color. I feel like the sand blue was kind of unnecessary. You've got dark blue, sand blue, satin black, light gray, dark gray. It's just kind of a lot. But again, the inaccuracy doesn't really bother me, because the ship still looks enough like the one in the movie, and it got all of the detailing right. Then as for what else LEGO could have made from the movie, please leave the video now if you're still watching but you haven't seen the movie, because now I am going to venture into spoiler territory, so this is your last warning. I'm pretty happy with what LEGO made. I don't really think you can make too much else. We got a good number of Deviants, we got the Domo, we got Arishem. The only other thing I could have asked for would be a final battle based set, a little terrain, a little bit of volcano terrain, one of those small Lego volcanoes with an exploding feature. And then it would be really awesome if we got a Tiamat build, with him emerging from the ocean, part of his head and then his fingers, because I thought that was just really awesome imagery in the movie. I really loved the final battle and the whole third act. I thought it was the best part of the movie. And so I think that would have been really cool. But that definitely would have been a very playset-based set if LEGO were to make something like that. And I understand why they didn't, because what we have here is definitely good enough. Like I said, there's not really much else that LEGO could have made. And with what they've made here, I like how mobile everything is. You've just got 5... right? Yeah, sorry, I have to count. You've got 5 creature builds. You've got a bunch of minifigures. You've got one giant robot space god guy, and then you've got a vehicle. So I like that LEGO didn't really make playset based sets for this, because you can just take these ingredients and put them under any backdrop. And so I think that definitely works. I also don't really think we needed more minifigures. Dane Whitman was just like a regular guy in this movie. He didn't even become Black Knight. Obviously, Lego's not going to do any end credits minifigures. So, you know, Eros or Star Fox is out of the running there, although a minifigure of him would be awesome because I really liked his suit. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with what LEGO did for Eternals, especially in terms of the builds, because I think that the builds are fantastic, but the minifigures are lacking. Like, if there's one thing LEGO could improve on, a lot of these guys need better hair pieces, and a lot of them need better face prints as well. So that does it for my Eternals collection video. Let me know what you guys think about all of these sets. I think that they look really nice together. I think that they look really, really cohesive. They work so well together. I can't wait to set up a display. And let me know what you guys thought about the movie too. I liked it, but it definitely had a lot of issues. And honestly, Eternals might be the first movie that I've ever seen where I like the vibes of like the marketing and the merchandise a lot more than I like the actual movie. And I feel like Crow is a perfect example of that, because that is a great Lego build and he looks fantastic, and he was like literally nothing in the actual movie. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.